Hello, Browns Nation today. I bring you an absolutely incredible piece of news, the kind that will have you on the edge of your seat. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we bring you daily videos with the latest updates on the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget to turn on the notifications. Hey, Browns fans, today's news is shaking up the entire NFL landscape. So without further delay, let's dive into it. The Cleveland Browns' mandatory minicamp is around the corner, and all eyes are on the QB battle between rookies Shedur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, the battle for the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback job is heating up, and Shedur Sanders' name is starting to gain momentum. Dillon Gabriel, former Oregon Ducks quarterback and a third-round pick in the draft, remains firmly in the competition. He's battling two experienced veterans, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, and fellow rookie Shedur Sanders, a fifth-round pick and the son of legend Deion Sanders. Although it's still early, the competition has already caught the attention of the sports media, fueling debates and bold predictions. Tony Rizzo of ESPN Cleveland recently said on his radio show that Sanders looked like the best quarterback during this week's organized team activities, OTAs. At the rookie minicamp held on May 10th in Berea, Ohio, Sanders was seen watching Gabriel throw passes at the cross-country mortgage campus, a moment that perfectly symbolizes the current dynamics of the QB battle. Focus, anticipation, and many eyes on every single snap. A crowded depth chart under pressure. The situation is clear. The Browns can't carry 5 quarterbacks on their active roster for the 2025 season. Once Deshaun Watson is officially placed on reserve, they'll be able to protect up to 3 QBs. But keeping 4 is highly unlikely. This means at least one of these names will probably end up on the practice squad, at the real risk of being poached by another franchise. Cleveland went all in on the quarterback position this year. The team used 3 draft picks on 3 different QBs. First, they traded a 5th-round pick and QB Dorian Thompson-Robinson to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for Kenny Pickett. Then, they selected Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round and Shedur Sanders in the 5th. They also brought in veteran Joe Flacco on a $3 million contract for the season. When it's all said and done, only one of these 4 will be the starter. And that's what's making Browns camp one of the most compelling storylines of the NFL offseason. Real-time competition expectations for the mandatory minicamp and preseason are sky high. Fans and analysts will be watching every practice and every snap, trying to figure out who will ultimately lead the franchise. Recently, Shedur Sanders turned heads after throwing a touchdown to Caden Davis during OTAs, a play that quickly went viral on social media. But while some performances excite, the future remains wide open for all involved. The question isn't just who will be the starter, but also who ends up last on the depth chart and what happens next. If Gabriel finishes as the 4th QB on the roster, the most likely outcome would be placing him on the practice squad. However, that would leave him exposed to other teams, possibly turning a 3rd-round pick into a wasted asset. On the other hand, if Sanders ends up at the bottom, the media frenzy will be intense. All it would take is one injury to another Browns quarterback for Sanders' name to start circulating as a potential solution, even if he hasn't logged significant playing time in Cleveland. The opposite is also true. Sanders could win the starting job and become the face of the franchise, boosting ticket sales and fan excitement. The future is on the line. Joe Flacco, now in his 17th NFL season, made his intentions clear. He's not in Cleveland to be a mentor. He's here to compete for the starting job. That said, he acknowledged that if he can share some wisdom along the way, he'll do it gladly. Regardless of who wins the job in 2025, the evaluation doesn't stop there. Every quarterback on the roster is being assessed. If the Browns aren't convinced by the performance of whoever wins the job, they'll be back in the market for a new starter in the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's not forget, when Cleveland traded away the number 2 overall pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who selected star Travis Hunter, they acquired Jacksonville's 2026 first-round pick in return. That gives the Browns 2 first-rounders next year, a valuable asset that could help them trade up for an elite QB if needed. The 2026 quarterback class is expected to be stacked, with big names like Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Lenoris Sellers, and more. In other words, whoever earns the starting spot this year will need to prove, week after week, that they deserve to keep it. A battle that's only just beginning. The competition for the Browns' QB1 job is intensifying, and Shedur Sanders continues to gain traction. Dillon Gabriel, the former Oregon Duck and third-round pick, remains locked in the race. He's competing with two seasoned veterans, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, as well as fellow rookie Shedur Sanders, a fifth-rounder and son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. Though we're still early in the process, this battle has already become a talking point in the sports world. Tony Rizzo from ESPN Cleveland said Sanders looked like the best quarterback during this week's OTAs. At the May 10 rookie minicamp in Berea, Ohio, Sanders was spotted watching Gabriel throw at Cross Country Mortgage Campus, a scene that perfectly reflects the drama of this battle: focus, anticipation, and constant scrutiny. However, Cleveland.com reporter Mary Kay Cabot offered a more cautious view of Sanders' progress. In an interview on The Rich Eisen Show, she noted that the rookie hasn't participated in full team drills in the latest practice and remains the fourth QB on the depth chart for now. He's still not doing 11-on-11 work, Cabot explained. Sanders has done well in 7-on-7s, but the coaching staff is clearly easing him along the learning curve. Meanwhile, Gabriel has been capitalizing on his reps. According to Browns team reporter Kelsey Russo, the former Duck threw red zone touchdowns to wide receiver Kaizian Johnson and tight ends Brendan Bates and Trace McKitty during recent practices. Cabot also praised Gabriel. He's efficient, has a strong arm, and throws a beautiful ball. He's still developing, he's only had 3 team reps so far, but he's on the right track. Head coach Kevin Stefanski emphasized that, at this stage of the offseason, the priority is experimentation and helping the quarterbacks adapt to different game concepts. We're rotating everything every day. We're not concerned with the order right now. It's time to give everyone different types of reps, Stefanski said. With preseason approaching, the Browns opener is scheduled for August 8th against the Carolina Panthers. All signs point to all 4 quarterbacks getting their chance to shine on the field. Until then, the battle for the Browns' #1 jersey promises to be one of the most intriguing stories of this NFL offseason.